What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another anime review. This is a review for the Tomadachi game. I have noticed a problem with my channel in that my anime reviews, series reviews, and film reviews haven't been top quality, haven't been good enough. I haven't felt like they've been decent for a while, so I wanted to do some more. I wanted to show you how good I could do them and sort of have your inputs to see how I can improve. But for the series and anime, I've been taking a look at the anime and a series as a whole, but I'm not going to do that anymore, and I'm just going to be taking a look at season by season as I watch them. So here is the Tomadachi game. Season 1 is out now, and you can watch it on Crunchyroll, Funimation, any pretty much anime site you use. And I really enjoyed the first act of this, like the first part of this show. The first part, because we're going to get onto the second part in a bit. But the first episode introduced us to the characters, got us familiar with them. Blonde hair's the rich one. Black hair is... There's three black hairs. The black hair on the left is the popular girl, the smart girl. Brown hair on the right is like the sad one, and the loner. The nerd is the black hair on the right, and then in the middle is the sort of main character. He is the sort of poor one of the group, but he's the most friendliest one, and he's the happiest one. So they're raising money for a school trip. They go on this school... Well, they don't actually go on the school trip because the money was stolen. And then these five woke up in this new sort of game world. I thought it was an alternate world, but it isn't. It's just a different... It's like a big factory building. It's like an escape room-esque thing. I thought there was going to be high stakes. I thought there was going to be death in here. But there isn't much high stakes. It's run by a secret organization that one of these five friends paid them the travel money to go and go and see. They were put in this game, and everyone was confused. No one knew who put them in there. This dude here, he's the main mascot of the game. He's the one explaining the rules. It's sort of like Danganronpa in a way to start with, because this guy is also played by the same person that plays the panda in Danganronpa and Nishinoya in Haikyuu. I do watch it in dub because I can't read, and it's just a lot easier for me to watch it without having to read. But they all get angry. They're all like, why are we here? What are we doing? And the first game is pretty simple. You got to do as the... you ask questions, and then you move it on the board to yes or no, but you have to answer it all together. And if someone disagrees with you, the minority will win. Like, if 2 vote for no and 3 vote for yes, the 2 people who vote no will have the stronger push because the game says so. It can read your mind. I don't know how it works, but it's like a mystic sort of who did it sort of scenario, and I liked that. I liked the mystery. I liked working out what the problem was, how to fix it, who was the sort of like secret person who put them in there, who was like, what was their motive, what were they doing, and it was good for the first 3 episodes until they just revealed it. They straight up revealed it, who this guy was that put them in there, and it was the dude with the glasses. Sorry, I don't remember the names. But the guy with the glasses put them in there, and we found that out because we could hear their thoughts, and it gave it away, and that really upset me because I liked the mystery and I wanted it to go on a little bit longer. I just like Danganronpa, that sort of concept for the first season where we had to work out who the murderer was for each murder. That interests me. I like that. I like the mystery to it. So having this sort of spoiled, like pretty much 3 episodes in, really upset me because the characters didn't work it out. So we still had that going for me. Like I could help see how the characters were going to try and work it out. And this guy on screen here, he's so smart, but he's also sick and twisted. And we sort of see that in the second act, where he gets sort of sick and twisted. And how sort of dark and how smart he actually is, and how he outsmarts the rest of the game. Because halfway through, they give up on the rest of the team. It's just this guy, the glasses guy, that continue. And I liked the rest of the team. I liked the blonde-haired kid, and I liked this guy here. I liked how he thought and how I just liked trying to work out how he was thinking and what his plans were. I liked that with the series. I liked the element of having to try and work it out for myself. and trying to work out how he's doing something, what his plan's going to be, why he did this, why he's not doing that. And it's just fun. And then when it gets revealed, it's like, holy shit, you are a smart boy, you are a smart bastard, look at you go. So having it spoiled straight away sort of definitely affected it, and then it definitely changed the dynamic when it's sort of mid-season where he went psycho mode, and they actually got out the game, and then he went to like this back alley sort of knockoff version of the game with this guy, and he played a game, he was tortured, it got really dark really fucking quick, he was being tortured, he was playing a game, he took all his, like, he lost pretty much most of his fingers, and by the end of the series, they go back into the game. The last episode, they agree to go back inside to rescue the blonde-haired kid. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. The middle section, where they were playing this sort of Hunger Games-esque thing, where they had to find the hidden member of the group before the other people did. I liked the twist ending of that, because your sort of emotions... There was sort of three sections of this. The first section was the sort of two games they played as a group, trying to work out who sort of put them in that game. The second section was pretty boring, but I liked the twist ending of it, because it got my emotions. I felt scared. I felt like sort of, the rush of like, oh shit, they fucked up, they failed. How have they failed this challenge? I thought you were smart, you had a foolproof plan, but you were outsmarted, and then you actually outsmarted the outsmarter, and it was just like... such a sort of big brain moment, and it was such a relief, and it was like the tensions were high in that middle bit end section. But the last section, they sort of treated the rest of the friends like shit when they met them, but the game sort of wanted them back in, and they were sort of torturing them in their own little way. And then the knockoff game had them, I'm not explaining this very well, and I'm sorry, but the knockoff game had them sort of trying to save each other and very much torture-like, and this is where he sort of like broke, and he got the most twisted. He was licking the knife, he was sort of going crazy, he wasn't bothered by the pain, he was proving that. He was looking them dead in the eye as shit was happening. And with him going psycho like this, the voice acting and the animation really come into play here, because before then, the voice acting and the animation was like a good level, nothing too amazing, nothing too sort of shitty. It was just an okay level, because this guy here was voiced by Todoroki, also in My Hero. But when it gets to this point in the series, when he goes psychotic and crazy, the voice acting goes up a major level. You can fear the sort of, you can hear the crazy in his voice and hear the fear in the other people's voices around him. And every time he sort of lets a little bit of this crazy out, you can definitely hear it in the voice. It's like a slightly different voice. You can hear the fear. When she's upset and she's crying, you can hear the upset in her voice. There is just a lot of emotion in this last act of the sort of season, and I really liked that. Also, the art style reflected that. We had the sort of colours sort of changing as well around him, making it black and white, bright reds, bright colours contrasting to the sort of darker backgrounds. And they sort of really played with colours with this sort of scenery, and like Danganronpa when it plays with the colours and makes the blood bright pink in like a darker sort of background to it. It just made it stand out and makes it really cool and makes you sort of focused on it and sort of see the change happening with colours without them having to like explain the changes happening. Those sort of changes really make the sort of series better. And going back to the first act, with them sort of turning on each other, the sort of tension that built was really good as well. And the relief and the sort of realization you have when his plans unfold and he explains them and what he's doing, why he's doing it, you get so much from that. It's just so good. First act, amazing. Last act, third act, amazing. Second act, a little mid. So because of that, I am going to give it like a solid 6 out of 10. No, sorry, not 6. 7 out of 10 is what I meant. It's not perfect. The middle act definitely brings it down. The early sort of explanation of who put them in that game, I definitely think they could have dragged that out a little longer. I wish they didn't tell us through the thoughts. I wish they waited until the characters fully realised who it was to sort of have that there. but I understood why they did it, to make the contrast between the glasses and to explain why he was doing stuff. But I wish they saved that till a little later, after these guys figure out who it is, because it's only the second game they figure out who it is, and I do understand it's only a small group of people, but still, second game, that's pretty quick. The pacing of this was a little... That's what I'm saying, the pacing was a little off. Stuff was going a little too fast for how I prefer it with a series like this, and just the concept like this. It went really slow for the second act, so that's because it was a little more boring than the other two. But towards the end of the second act, you really started to pick up the pace and sort of realize, oh shit, they're doing this because of this, right? Everything's clicking into place now, I like that. But it's just the first act and the third act that I really enjoyed the most. To be fair, they did a really good job of connecting to the characters and explaining why they would, what each character's motive would be if it was them, or why they wouldn't do it as well. Until they gave it away in like episode 3 that it was the glasses guy, which I was a little upset about. But what can you do? It was still a good series, 7 out of 10. Animation is pretty okay until the third act, then it starts to get real good. Voice acting's okay, gets a little bit better in certain points, but it's just pretty mid voice acting. Usually, no offense to the voice actor of Todoroki, our main character here, but his voice isn't usually that good at range. He's sort of like a good monotone voice, because he does play a couple of characters that I know of, and when he gets angry, it doesn't sound that angry, but he does a really good psychotic voice in this, and I like that. So, it's a good 7. Nothing too more to say about this series. I do really like it though. I can't wait for season 2. I hope we get a little bit more of a mystery to who's behind the sort of corporation that put them in this game, because that was not really explored. So we still have that going into season 2. So we still have that mystery going on. We do see them a little bit, and they are going to be taking care of our main character because he did get really badly injured in Act 3. But it is the brown hair and the guy with the glasses going in the game to save the blonde guy who is currently in prison for his dad's crimes, I do believe. But honestly, it's a really good series. It's a really good concept. I just wish they did a little some of these things better. But overall, it's still a really great series, and I'm glad I watched it. Again, it's only 12 episodes long, so it isn't that long to watch. Easily would do it in a day, just bash it out. It took me like 2-3 days to do it because I watched it whilst I was at work. So I was, I kept having to pause it so that it did slow down my sort of watching of it. But I did like that sort of me taking it slow to watch it, because it did give me time to sort of think over and work the mysteries out myself. I didn't get any of them. I never do. Like in the escape room movies, that's what I like, trying to figure out how to get out the room and who's behind it and stuff like that. It just tickles my brain. I don't like series like this. So if you do have any other recommendations for series similar to this, similar to Escape Room, Danganronpa, like murder mystery type films, like Murder on the Orient Express, great films. I've seen them. Go watch them. I just like that stuff, so please comment it down below to give me suggestions. And other than that, bye-bye.